Welcome, and after three parts of explaining about SQLite database with especially with focus on the SQLite library so that you can work directly with this database with SQLiteOpenHelper with SQLite database classes as content values and cursor classes inside this library, four main classes. You have more classes, let's say for handling exception and so on and so forth, but then we'll just focus on these four main classes: SQLiteOpenHelper, okay, SQLite database, content values, and cursor. So now we're going to create a new application which is for SQLite demo. Next, then for this one should operate API next. And this main activity, I think I'm gonna name it into the add activity. So I'm gonna use this activity to add a product. Okay, I'm going to use this activity in order to add products. I'm going to name it into add activity. So what I'm going to work on this one is actually I'm going to create a database helper using this based on this library in order to work with this database, to create this database and this table first. So we're gonna focus on this closest add activity. We're going to go to Java package, and in this Java package I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a new Java class. Okay, create a new Java class, and this Java class I'm going to create this Java class with database handler. Okay, database handler. Okay, database handler. Okay, and for this class we're gonna make use of the first class that I listed here, which is the SQLiteOpenHelper. SQLiteOpenHelper. Okay, so SQLite open extend SQLiteOpenHelper. Okay, and when you extend this SQLiteOpenHelper, you need to specify this important information. Okay, so you need to specify important information for it to work. Let's say let's just give some important information. Let's say the database name, okay, the database version, the package or the package on which the database is going to create it. So the context on which the database is created, okay, and the cursor factory. So you need to pass in this information by giving it into the constructor. So you need to build this constructor. Okay, so I'm gonna use Control Enter. Okay, select constructor, and you're going to select this constructor to build. So whenever you create a new database helper, or whenever you would like to have a database helper, or using SQLiteOpenHelper to work with, you need to give the context that of the application that you're going to work. Okay, then the name of the database. So whenever we create a new database handler, I'm gonna fix the name. So I'm gonna declare private static finder. Okay, finder, static finder, string db names equal to, I'm gonna give the name is product.db. Okay, so I'm gonna fix the name. So instead of giving the name for this one, I'm gonna fix the name with db name is like this whenever I use this SQLiteOpenHelper, because in my case it's specific my database handler, specifically my database handler already. So I fix the name. Then next one, we need to give the cursor factory. Okay, the factory which is used to create the cursor object. What is the cursor object? We already explained over here. Cursor object is an object in order to work with your table result. So you can navigate through it, and you can also access data inside the table. So I'm gonna specify, we don't need to keep this one, and I'm gonna specify for the cursor factory, which is unknown values, which means we use the built-in cursor from Android already. Then I'm gonna duplicate this row, duplicate Control D to duplicate it, and I'm gonna fix the database version of this one. The database version of this one is version number 1, and this one is an integer. So because we fixed the database version, so I'm going to remove this version, and I'm gonna specify this DB version there. Okay, so again, whenever we need to work with this SQLiteOpenHelper, we need to work with this database, and you need to specify some information, let's say which is the database name, the version, so on and so forth. But the database name and version is fixed in this case. For my specific case, we only have to specify the context of the application later when in use. Then what is the job of this SQLiteOpenHelper is to create the database if needed, or to upgrade the database if needed. So we need to override these two methods on create. So do Control I, okay, do Control I. So it's gonna show you to the insert code over there, or you can roll Control Enter, okay, Control Enter, and you're going to choose override methods, and no, sorry, Control Enter and choose implements methods. Okay, and you're gonna select the two methods there to implement. So you will have the option to call the method on create or on upgrade. So when is this on create going to be called? I already explained over here. So when you give the name and the version, and it checks on the databases folder, and if that file doesn't exist yet, it's going to create that file with this name and this version, and it's return you an object of SQLiteDatabase, which is return you this object of the SQLiteDatabase. And from here, as I explained before, you can use this SQL, you can create SQL statement to create this table. So I'm going to declare string SQL equal to create table product, okay, create table products, enter. And for the table products, let me just place it here. We're going to create the first field is the ID, and for SQLite by default the ID is named with this underscore ID, and this ID is an integer number and auto increase, so it's integer, and it's primary key. Okay, similarly, you can give the another one which is product ID, product name. So let me just do Control Alt R to reformat the code. So probably I'm gonna put this one here as well. Okay, ID integer. So after ID, you know, give the names. This one is text. You're gonna give another one which is let me put this one another one which is ID names SQL equal to. Let me just put this one here. It's fine. Okay, ID name text, and next field is quantity. It is an integer. Okay, so this one is the SQL query in order to create table products. And as I explained, DB is an object of SQLiteDatabase, which is to represent this database. And you can insert, update, select, or you can run any SQL statements there. You can run any SQL statement. So you can use this DB object dot execute, okay, execute SQL, exec SQL, okay, and I'm gonna execute that SQL statements. Okay, exec that SQL statement. This one will help me to create the database. This one will help me to create the table inside the database. Okay, will help me to create the table inside the database. And another case is when this database already exists, okay, with the same with version number 1, but your database you specify the same name, but version number 2 is one call to on upgrade. Okay, in this case, on upgrade, normally what we're gonna do is we're gonna do string SQL equal to drop table if exists, and then the table name is drop table if exists, which is table name, which is product. Okay, then you're gonna take the db.execute exec SQL to drop that table SQL of there. Then now you can just call on create again with the db over there. So this on update is not so important. Anyway, you don't write any SQL query needed in order for you to upgrade the database to newer version. Let's say you need to drop old table and create new table if needed. Okay, then now you have another operations which is interesting, which is you can use this dot get readable database, something like this. This dot get readable database and so on and so forth, you know, to access to the database object, or to connect the database object if you already created it. Okay, and this get readable database return you a database object on which you can use only to insert to select data. Okay, it's going to be faster if you only need to get readable data, and in case of if you really need to update or write your data, you need to get writable database. Okay, but then now let's just work on the first simplest method, which is I'm gonna get back to this one later. Then. Now okay, let's just work on the flow of the application. So what application that I would like to create is whenever you start with your application over here, okay, we're going to create a form. Okay, a form will have this one, let's say a name. Okay, a form will have this one, let's say a name. Okay, and you have another text field over here, which is called besides the name, which is this one is called besides the name, it is gonna be called as quantity. Okay, quantity. Okay, and you're gonna have earn the objects over here, which is a button for you to click on add. So we need to create this activity, which is called add activity, which is already created, as our main activity when we first comes in. Okay, when it first comes in, it's already created this one, add activity. So just undo this one. I'm gonna put this one. When we first comes in, we already created this add activity. Okay, we already created this add activity. Then we're gonna look at this add activity. If you would like to arrange your data like this, it's a good case for us to specify, which is about table layout. Okay, table layout. What is a table layout? Table layout is the whole thing here is going to be arranged as a table, and the whole thing here is going to be arranged. As a table. Table object. Okay, layout object. The whole thing here is going to be arranged as table layout object. And for each of the row like this, okay, gonna be specified by each of the row like this, gonna be specified like with a class which is called table row, with a tag which is called table row. Okay, table row. And for the two cells or the two columns that you are seeing like this, okay, two columns that you're seeing, first column, second column, first column, second column, they are specified by the view itself, which is a text view. If you place one view here, is one columns. Place two views here is two columns. If you place another views here, it's gonna create another columns. Okay, so I'm gonna change this activity. Okay, so we're going to get back to the add activity. Add, and on which right now it is relative layout. I want to change it to table layout. I'm gonna change this one into table layout, on which there is only one text view, and I want to delete it. Okay, delete it. Then if we get back to the design now, it is a table layout. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to drag a label in, a large text label, and we're gonna place its row 0, column 0. Okay, and change this one into, double click on it, change this one into name. Okay, and you're gonna place another second row number 1, column number 0. I prefer a large text there, so I'm going to put a large text for the second columns. Double click on this and change this one into quantity. Enter. Then we need to have two text boxes. Okay, two text boxes. The first text box is a plain text for this one, for the names. Okay, and the second text box, which is supposed to be a number. So I'm going to put here, which is a number for row 1, column number 1. Okay, so we have these two text boxes here, already. And if we look at our text over here, You see, so for we need to have table layout inside there. We have table row. Okay, inside this